If you were to pick anywhere in the world to pioneer maize growing technology, it probably wouldn't be here in West County Limerick. But this farmyard is the nerve centre of a global technology business with a unique family flavour. Samco is an agricultural engineering firm with an annual turnover of €10 million and a staff of 27. It develops innovative machines for growing maize in cooler climates. So Sam, what's special about these machines? This is one of your seeders here.
This is a very unique machine because it's 3 machines built into one. So at the start of it we have the seed, so the seed has to be placed down through here. And then we have a disc that opens the channel to bury our film, and then we have a herbicide sprayer on the machine to spray underneath the film just before the seed is laid.
To really appreciate how ingenious the Samco system is, you need to see it in action. While it is sowing the maize and applying the weed killer, it also lays a thin film of degradable plastic. This creates a microclimate for the seed, a kind of field-scale greenhouse that enables the tropical maize seed to grow in cold climates.
I would say in particular our film laying device is very, very special because we are dealing with a very, very thin degradable film, 7 micron, which is really like a tissue paper.
This isn't something that you've just come up with in the last year or two. There's pretty much about 20 years of design.
Yes, it has evolved over 15, 17 years of design and production to bring it to where it is today. So we can work it anywhere in the world because today 85% of our business is exported out of Ireland. So we have to fit into all those different markets and soil types.
The business still operates from the farmyard where cows were milked until a decade ago. But Sam always preferred tractors to livestock.
I was interested in machinery, so I decided to start a contracting business. So I learned a lot about engineering skills. I learned a lot about strengths that were needed in machinery and design of machinery, and I worked with a good few manufacturers and visited them in different factories around Europe. So I learned a lot about manufacturing at that stage.
Despite, or perhaps because of, his learning difficulties, Sam Shine has been able to invent and perfect a technically advanced system that is now in demand worldwide.
I left school when I was 16. Obviously, I didn't learn the same as everybody else due to my dyslexia, which was a problem, which can be good and bad. I have a different way of learning. So it's like I have 2 brains in one brain. So one can design it and the other side of the brain makes it. So I physically design and make in my head. And then when I come back to work next morning, I can go into the design office and discuss it with my son Robert, and we discuss it with the engineers, how we'd make it or how we design it, and they have to carry on from there.
Sam's eldest son, Robert, trained as an engineer and now works on the development of new machines using computer-aided design systems to test new products.
90% of what happens in here is R&D work. Pure development work on new machine designs for new markets, specialised machines for certain types of markets with certain customers who want specialised machines. And it's done here. A lot of stuff will be trial and error, but it's easier to do it here than do it outside in the shed. That takes too long. It takes too long. Here it can be done in a few weeks and it's finalised.
So Matt, this is your latest creation. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, this is the Samco carryall. Usually we'll be selling this machine out to the guys in the States and Canada, northern Canada, on the prairies.
Because it's pretty big, isn't it? I can't imagine that working on an Irish farm.
No, those boys out there, they have bigger machinery, bigger requirements, so they look for bigger kits. So what we can do is when the contractor, the farmer buys this, he can buy a 4-row or a 6-row or even an 8-row, and we're actually working on a new 10-row as well at this stage because there's demand for those machines in that sort of area.
Today, Samco is a thriving business selling seeders and plastic all over the world from China, Canada and New Zealand. But the big decisions are still taken right here at the kitchen table. Isn't that right, Sam?
That's right.
Yeah. Is it unusual you get the whole family around?
Well, it is unusual.
for the
They're
cup
all
of
here.
tea?
Sometimes Matthew is in England and Stephanie might be in New Zealand and Robert could be anywhere between Holland and Belgium. But still, if we can get them together, we can make decisions.
With any company, with any family, everyone needs their own little section, you know. It's not that we've carved up the world and we give him one section of the world and him another section of the world. It's rather we've carved up the business.
Do you spend a lot of time abroad?
Yeah, sometimes I'd ring Matt and, you know, the phone would ring a bit funny, or Robert, and I'd be like, Janie, Matt, where's everyone? And I'd ring Robert then, he'd ring me, oh, it was the middle of the night, I was in Canada, or Matt could be UK, Dad could be China, Japan, anywhere.
Do you ever get worried about how things are galloping along here? Do you?
Well, I do, of course. I know when they're abroad like that. I worry when they're on the plane and how things are going. I hope they're going on well out with them. It's a big step for me now to try and follow them, you know.
Everybody has their own thing, and it's better like that. But of course, if you have employees, you can sack one, but you can't sack your family. So you have to work together with them, and I suppose that's what keeps us all in tune.
The challenge of taking on the Chinese market was eased somewhat when Sam met a young student working as a waiter in a local restaurant. So it was a lucky night for you in that restaurant in Limerick City.
Very lucky. I always say I'm very lucky get this job because of Sam.
Ming and his wife now work full-time for the company, developing and servicing customers in one of the world's fastest growing markets.
I traveling to China probably 5 times a year. I will based in China from March to May, majorly because it's planting season and to carry out the trials.
The Shine family story goes back centuries here in West Limerick, and they've plans to be here for another while yet.
The business is growing all the time, on exports in particular. We have to build a new factory for production because we're still in the premises where we use for the farm and for the contracting. Enterprise Ireland would like us to up the scale for more exports, more jobs. That's what the country needs. Of course, it is scary borrowing 2 or 3 million to build such a factory, but we have to do that for the way forward. There's really no other way at this stage. We have to do that plunge.
This programme will be repeated on Sunday at lunchtime after the farming weather. You can contact us by phone, email or follow us on Facebook or Twitter. And you can hear more rural stories on Countrywide with Damien O'Reilly on Saturday morning on RTE Radio 1.